What's going on, everybody? Quaker here, back with another video. Today I am taking a look at Quickpad. Quickpad was developed by the developer Yair Eichenbaum and Sharp Ninja, co-developed together. It is basically a note-taking application that pretty much brings you the features of Notepad and a few extra things just to bring it up to date to the modern times with the whole Fluent design system. Let's take a look to see how it works and see if there's any things that I can say that don't work so well with it. So here we are digging deep into Quickpad. Quickpad, like I said before, is a note-taking application similar to Notepad. Starting off the bat, when you first open it up, you have this layout here. Now, you might think, why am I saying that? And it's because this application actually has multiple layouts that it can look like. So starting off the bat for this default one, it's called default mode. It's got new, it's got open, you've got your save, you've got your font area, and then you've got your font size, and then you have your emoji panel. So when you click that, it lets you insert emojis from Windows, their built-in emoji panel. And then you got your undo, you got your redo, and then you got your compact overlay, and then you got your see more. So getting into compact overlay, if I click that, that's essentially picture in picture. So you can see all the attempts and stuff that I've done. You can see that if I do this, it stays in front, and it just stays in front. No matter what I do, it'll stay in front. If you want to get out of that, you can click this button right here, and then you can come back to the normal one there. And then the next thing you can do here, when you hit see more, you got your different modes. You got focus mode, classic mode, you got your share, you have your find, or you can hit Control F, you got your settings, and then you got exit, which just exits out of the program. So for focus mode takes away all the distractions, and it just keeps the text front and center, so you just see what you've been typing in. And then if you hit this back button, you can go back and get back to normal. If you hit classic mode brings up a different look, and it even changes what's on the right side here, which is something I actually don't really like. It makes it so it's more like Notepad, where you have your general file, edit, format, word wrapping, and things like that. And you can go back to default mode by hitting the view and going back to default, or you can change your modes from there. So you see focus mode, overlay mode. And then if you hit this button here, you come up to that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to default mode to show you guys more. So you got your classic mode, and so on and so forth. So jumping into now, we're back to classic mode. Now that everything has changed, if we go to settings, you see the settings gear icon shows up. And when you go to the settings gear icon, you have 5 tabs that's split up for this application. So launch mode. Launch mode is basically what mode is it going to look like when you first open up the application. You can choose between default mode, classic mode, compact overlay, focus mode, ninja mode. Ninja mode kind of changes it up. It looks like it adds like both. Ninja mode looks like it's kind of like both classic mode and default mode connected together, in terms you have everything in one. So that's kind of pretty cool. Going back to settings right there, you have your app language. Now this is basically whatever your system language is, whatever you have installed, whether you have multiple or just one, that's what's going to appear in this app. And of course, it says you need to restart Quickpad to apply the changes. You also have your file type. So this by default has 2 file types. It's got .txt and .rtf, which is rich text format. And then you also have default file encoding, so you can change versus you can choose between the various encoding schemes. And then you have autosave, which is another nice feature that this introduces. So it lets you autosave every up to 45 seconds, and as little as 5 seconds, it'll autosave the program after the first save that often. Going next page, you have your themes. So if you want different themes, you have Crimson, which is what I'm on right now. You got your leaf theme, which is kind of leafy green. Cobalt, you got your rose gold, which, you know, again, with the Fluent design, you can see that it gets a little more rosy and pinkish on the double overlay, basically when there's an overlay over a program that's already doing it. You have lettuce, which this person called chic or chick. I'm not sure how you say it, but chick kind of looks like chick fur. You got your random. Basically, every time you open up the program, it'll bring up a theme, a random theme, so it could be anything. System accent color, basically whatever your system color is, it'll be that accent color for the program. You got your dark mode, and then it's got light mode, which I personally don't really care for, and then you got your default, which is the system defined theme. So right now my computer is in dark mode pretty much permanently. And then the next thing here, you have your plain text font op settings. Basically, you can choose the default between the plain text, which is .txt file font settings, and your rich text font settings. So basically, when you first open up this application, anything in this application, if it's a .txt file, by default, its font will be Product Sans for mine at least, and its font size will be 20. You can turn on word wrapping if you want, and then you can turn on spell check, which you see right there. It has a spell check, so if I right click it, you have your quick and quick. So if I want to correct it, now it's correct. So going back here and going back to settings, you have your rich text format, which font settings, which has the same things right there. If I want to turn on word wrapping, I can. So if I put in a lot of things, it'll word wrap. Next thing there, you have your advanced settings, which is basically like you have acrylic options. Basically this area here, this main field right here that you type all your text in, your text area, you can choose to turn off that. It makes it pretty much fully opaque at that point, especially in the dark mode. You can see that it's pretty much opaque. If you look closely and focus with your eyes where these trees are and follow it through the program, you can see it's not 100% opaque. You still see kind of the brightness. It could be my monitor, but I still see kind of the brightness of the clouds or the river right there. But it is mostly just opaque. And if I click it, you can see it again. It's clear again. Enable Google search. Basically, this program allows you to search the web on anything you have in your document. So if I want to search the web for quick, I can right click it, and you see I can search via Bing or search via Google, and this will just bring up your default web browser, and it'll search for that term. So going back to settings again, you have your import, export, and reset for your settings. So basically, if you plan on using this on multiple computers at work or whatever it is, and you want to download at work and you don't want to like reconfigure the application to whatever your specifications were, you can just export first and save it to like a flash drive, and then you can import it, download it on the new computer, import it, all your settings, and they'll be there. Or you can hit reset. And then lastly, you have your applications, like the application area, where it just shows you all the information for the application, who made it, and the special thanks for these two here. And yeah, that's something that's really important to me with a lot of applications, is if I want to get the word out, or if I want to ask somebody a question who made it, who is that person, and how can I reach them? So this is that area right there. Contribute to developer, report issues there, and so on. So yeah, this is a pretty full-fledged application for note-taking. It looks really nice to me. To me, though, my application for, let's say, pseudocode, because this is a Notepad application, you can use it to program. My application for pseudocode to me is like Notepad X, and I did a video on that, which I'll flash on the screen. And my other application that I'd use probably in replacement of the old janky and just working Notepad will probably be this, because this is just as clean as the original Notepad, especially changing it to classic mode. It is just as clean as the regular Notepad, only it's more modern than the regular Notepad. It looks better to me. And to me, being an artist and also learning to be a programmer, just things looking a certain way is a big effect on me to make me want to use it. If something looks ugly and terrible, it's going to discourage me from using it. So this looks really good so far, and it's keeping me on board. Now, the only thing that I would like over that I like in Notepad X versus this one is that Notepad X, if I'm programming, Notepad X, you can, yes, on here in every Notepad application, you have your line numbers. So if you want to, type in whatever it is, you see this is line 2 down there. And then if I jump here, you can see it's on line 1. Notepad X just gives you the line name numbers right on the side, so you never have to look down in the tiny font. It's just clear as day. So that's probably the only other thing that would make me not use this over Notepad X. So yeah, let me know how you guys like this video, if you like this application, if you use this application. Also, if you have any application you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comment section below, or just drop me an email. I'll flash the email on the screen, nextgenwindows@hotmail or at gmail.com. You can also contact me on Twitter, nextgenwindows on Twitter, or nextwindows on Twitter. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a safe Thursday.